Hello, my magical people. Today I'm going to share with you my story and how I reconnected with my inner child and how that transformed my life and still transforming because it's a pretty recent experience for me. I would say that all my life I was a very creative person. Since a very young age I was able to create such a beautiful art, and I was always getting words of encouragement into creating more art. And I even went to art school because I was so passionate about creating something beautiful, something that is in my vision, but I was able to actually bring it to the world, which is all artists do. And over time I lost my ability to create due to many different reasons. Due to, of course, as an empath I was picking up on others people's projections, and there were people in my life, closed ones, who were not happy about me being childish. And this let's say the definition between being connected to your inner child and being childish is a huge difference, because when you're being childish, it's a person who is incapable of understanding that he or she is responsible for their own life and for the life of other people. But a person who has a strong connection to their inner child, they are actually able to take care of so many other people or living beings on this planet, because they are connected to their creator mode. So inner child is pretty much a little essence of you that it's still connected to the universal knowledge, to the God essence. And God always wants us to be in joy and happiness, and only us as souls, we chose to be here on this planet and experience this harsh materialistic world. So connection to your inner child is very important in order to be connected to the supreme personality of God. And you can call it however you wish, and some people call it universe, some people call it divine space, I believe, divine creature, or you name it. Everyone has their own definition of God. I just believe in something that is holding us together, that is bringing us into the path of self-realization, and eventually to full liberation, to freedom from all the miseries of this planet. And coming back to my story is that over time life took its own path, and of course I had to become more mature. I had to find out what adulthood is, and it happened in a pretty young age. I had to find my new home at the age of 16. At the age of 13 I was living, I moved out of my family home, and I had to move to my grandparents' house, and there were circumstances like that. But then at the age of 16 I had to become fully independent person and find my way out, or find my way in this world, right? And start like finding jobs and pay for my own rent and everything. So that happened pretty rapidly, and that was one of the moments when the first disconnection happened to my inner child, because I created this mindset that I have to become an adult. And so my inner child went onto my creative part, my creative side, went into shadow. And over time inner child. She would reveal herself here and there because I also went to college and I was studying arts as well, and my minor and my major is communications, but I did take digital media concentration. The digital media and design was my concentration, and part of it, the prerequisites that I had to take was art classes and or art classes. So I was able to bring my inner child back into the surface, right? So I was able to see through her eyes, through the eyes of purity. And when we see through the eyes of purity, when there is no there are no programs that are holding us back from becoming a full creator, we are becoming those childlike people because we enjoy this world. We see it through purity, through pure vision of our eyes. And over time, again, yes, I was able to put her out there to the world, but then meeting one person and another person, and then getting into the union of people who, with people who are truly disconnected from their inner child, or their wounded adults, especially men with whom I had a chance to be with. And not all of them, but there were a few people in my life who made a huge impact into putting me into a very dark mode. And I over time, after seeing this whole path that I went through, after looking at it as an adult, I would say that I'm very grateful for this experience in my life, because I had to go through this deep, dark shadow parts of myself. And of course, based on the frequency, I attracted people like that, because I was in my victim mentality, I was in my victimhood, right? So I attracted people or person, if it's a romantic relationship, usually dominant, or those who were trying to save me, right? And sometimes this they call it Kaplan triangular system, right? So it's a victim, dominant, and the one or tyrant, right? Some people call it tyrant, and saver, the hero, the one who wants to save everyone. And those people who are usually in their victimhood, they usually travel through this triangular. We feel as we are victims of this reality that everything is against us, that we have no choice and we have no responsibility for our own lives. Someone else is taking care of our lives: government, parents, husband, wife, kids, anyone else but me, right? So I was in that position, which I was not aware of, because I would operate in my life normally, and I would communicate with other people who were in exactly the same positions, like they were either dominant or either heroes or in their victimhood. And for me, that seemed to be normal, because I was in this circle of people who would encourage that type of behavior. And of course, I connected to people who would either dominate on me, or who would try to save me, or those on whom I would be dominant, or to those who I try to save, right? So it's like constantly shifting and moving triangular. And being in relationships for many years with people like that brought me into a very deep and dark space, where I completely lost my sense of understanding that there are different archetypes within me. And I'm not just for example, wife. I was wife for the total amount, let's say 10 years, right? Because it's a dating period and everything, but in relationships for 10 years. And my archetype as a wife was very strong and powerful, and she was dominating over all other archetypes that I had. And inner child was very suppressed because I was not allowing her to reveal herself into this world, because in my understanding I thought that if I start acting like a child, then my marriage will break apart. However, it was completely opposite. My marriage broke apart, and why this happened is because I lost the sense of myself. I completely dissolved myself into other person. I completely gave myself away to build happiness of some other people than mine. And the consequences of that were very strong. First of all, I was in a very deep depression for many years, many years. And I'm going to show a couple of pictures from my past. And I gained so much weight. I was my BMI was I think it was 26, so I was in the border of being normal weight and overweight, but I felt very heavy and my health was not in a very good condition. And by the way, when I was depressed, I was looking for illnesses in my body. I thought that something is wrong with me, that there's like a heart problem or like liver problem. There are like so many different diagnosis that I would give to myself, because I had no urge to leave, and I really, like, unconsciously I was putting myself in a position where I was about to die, because I did not see the light at the end of this tunnel. It was so dark. And the main problem is because I lost connection to my inner child. Inner child gives a sense of purpose on this planet. Reconnection. People who can play, who can enjoy this life, who can truly embrace their desires. They don't have this heaviness within them. They don't have that. They don't have time of thinking about how many problems in my body do I have, or for example, that there is no way I can succeed on this planet, because through the lens of inner child vision we can see so many different possibilities. It's like a whole spectrum. It's like rainbow and of colors, right? So in rainbow we see 7 colors. However, there are like multiple different combinations that we can create from these different colors, right? So rainbow is just something that I see rainbows in my place, and this is why I'm saying that example. So through the eyes of inner child, we're able and capable to see different opportunities. And when the disconnection happens to this little beautiful creature that sits within you, we lose the ability to create. And yes, there are people who are truly disconnected from their inner child, but they are in a, like, I would say, a game for building businesses. They're fully merged into this like business archetype, right? Businesswoman or businessman archetype, and they go full in. But what we see at the end of the day, that many of those people, they are not really happy, because they been programmed to go and get something that might fulfill a desire to be realized on this planet, all right? So to be acceptable in the society, to be acceptable, to belong to your family, to belong to your community. So you have to become this and that and that. And then people think about, like, okay, so I achieved all these goals in my life, and now I don't know what else to do. And so people start to look for more ways to either there are many variations what people usually do, but I'm going to tell you from my own experience is that either it's medication, or full liberation. Therapy. And therapy is that includes a reconnection to your inner child, to your all other archetypes. I'm not talking about other archetypes at this moment. I'm talking in particular with the connection with the inner child. And so for almost 10 years I was fully disconnected from my inner child, and how it revealed to this planet, to this world, to my environment, that I was very depressed. I wasn't able as an artist to produce even one piece of art. There was nothing. I did not take my pen or pencils, nothing. It was just hidden somewhere in the basement area. All my art and everything, it was there for 10 years. I haven't touched anything because my inner child was very scared to reveal herself, because I, as an adult or as an empath, it's an excuse, right? I allowed other people to influence my inner peace. I allowed other people to install their programs into me, to think that my authenticity is something that is dangerous. That if I truly reveal myself as a person, then I will lose people. Then I will lose my reputation, because I am not allowed to act a certain way in a certain environment, right? And that was a very difficult period in my life, which I'm very grateful about, because without that time I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be able to share with you my story, because it's been a year and a half since I went into full freedom of allowing myself to express myself however I want to. And I'm very grateful for my guides, for those people who were supporting me on this journey. And one of these people is my partner and my mentor. His name is Alexander. I'm going to tag him here on this video. He was able to take me as very wounded woman who just overcame a very strong separation and divorce with her spouse, and who was lost in on this planet. I was depressed. I was scared, and I didn't know what to do. He was able to very gently guide me through the process of reconnecting me with my inner child, which I'm very grateful about, because this allowed me to put myself into the position where I am no longer in a victim mentality. I'm no longer holding this trait within me. Sometimes it's coming out, but I'm aware of it. I see that every time when the thought that someone did something wrong to me and this is not my responsibility, I immediately take my power back into myself, and I know that that was my conscious choice, for example, right, to connect with that person or to work on this business. And I knew prior to failing this type of connection or business, I knew that this is going to happen, and there is no one else responsible for my own happiness. And if this is not working, then what am I doing? I'm saying thank you for this experience, thank you for this beautiful time together. I am choosing myself, and I'm choosing my own happiness, and if my ways are not working with you, then it's time for us to go separate directions, right? And it is actually fun to do so, because this is a part of where you learn to say no to other people. And this is also a moment when you realize that there is no need to please other people in order to be happy, in order to receive love, unconditional love and unconditional support from those who are truly meant for you. So that's my experience, and after reconnecting with my inner child, and I've been working on this for over a year now, like I mentioned before, and it was very interesting journey. It was step by step. And imagine a child who is sitting in the closet hiding because he or she is scared because something major happened in your life, right? Or in my life in this example. And this inner child is hiding, and she is or he is afraid to reveal itself to this world because she or he does not feel safe. And the first step is to create this sense of safety for yourself. And that was quite a process for me, to be able to create, to allow myself to feel safe within my body, to allow myself to feel safe, express myself the way I wanted to elaborate my thoughts, to articulate my thoughts clearly, and to be able to be in a very awkward situations at times because people would not understand me while my inner child would come out, right? Because she is still a little child. She's maybe, I'm not sure, like everyone has their own age for their inner child, but my inner child, she's about 5 years old. And imagine in front of you standing woman, me, grown-up woman, and she starts to talk like a little child. And she asks questions like little child. And sometimes she wants to play too. And sometimes she asks you to go to play with her. And maybe climb the tree, and maybe draw something on the wall, something that is prohibited. Yes, we don't do murals here, but yes, we have pen and papers and we can do it together, right? So this is my inner child, and she is very playful. And without her, I am not myself, because reconnection with inner child is very important. This is how I learned who is she, which is me, right? And also I understood and I realized that my inner child, like in the past, I was so scared, or I was so, yes, I was very scared to have communication with children. I saw other women or other men getting connected to children, and they would be playing together, and there are people who had so much fun with children. Every time when I saw a child next to me, I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything because I was scared. My inner child, she was in the closet hiding. She didn't know how to communicate with other children. And after reconnection with my inner child, I realized that now it's easy for me to have communication with other kids. And it doesn't matter if that child, physically speaking, is 5 years old, or if that an inner child of some grown-up person, right? I can have this connection to people. And those people who are open to receive that gift from their own inner child, to be able to be joyful, be happy, live in a bliss and happiness all the time, they're the most successful people on the planet. Look at everyone who is speaking on the stage. Sometimes, yes, they have to put a mask on, that they are like very serious people because they're in a certain environment. But when you see those people having communication with not in such an official setup, you can see how much they're reconnected to their inner child, that they can play and they can see the world through the eyes of children, through the eyes of their inner child. And I am truly grateful that this happened to me, because at this moment I know that I can teach other people to walk the same path with me, to take them out of this darkness and to show them that it's safe to reveal yourself as an inner child or as a child in general, and just be playful and experience joy and happiness without feeling that you might be punished by some other adults who are not connected to their true self. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this video resonates with you. Have a great day.